YouTube is Rico, man, and I'm back with another video, man. Y'all see what we got going on, man. Shout out to Kid Nerd for this video right here that I'm about to react to. He made a video about pretty much saying in the title, Central C versus, hold on, y'all. I don't know what just happened. The light and everything went out. Anyway, sorry about that. But pretty much Central C versus Digga D, the violent backstory. Now, I didn't even know they had any type of beef because I haven't really been paying attention to a lot of people's beefs like that lately, unless people notify me about it through my comments on videos or hit me up on IG and shit like that. But I ain't even know they had static for real and shit like that. So with this video, this definitely gonna give me some more insight and information on they whole little situation and stuff. But with that being said though, man, if you're brand new to the channel, you've been watching videos on the channel but not yet, subscribe. Please hit that subscribe button now, and also please do not forget to smash that like button and comment on the video as well to help the video get recommended to a larger audience of people who bring new support to the channel. And also don't forget to don't forget to tell your family and friends about the channel as well, and hopefully they become supporters of the channel. And now also don't forget to turn on post notifications so you guys can get notified when I drop new videos, and be sure you don't miss out on new videos that I drop. Check out the channel every day, no matter the time of the day, and because you also don't want to rely too much on the post notifications because they sometimes don't work and stuff, so you don't really want to rely on them to notify you about new videos. And also don't forget to add and follow me on social media. All my social media platforms are listed down below in the description box as well as in the intro of this video, so you shouldn't have a hard time at all finding my social media platforms. With that said, we're gonna go ahead and start the screen record. That started and starting the vid now.
When we look at the UK drill scene and its numbers, it's clear to see who's at the top of the game right now. With Central C hitting #1 in the charts with his new mixtape 2-3, and Digga D securing features like Moneybag Yo, no one else in the UK scene is really doing what they're doing right now, which becomes even more interesting because
and you can't even hate on that, man. And for y'all that's just seen my recent UK and US collab reaction video between Digga D and Hot Boy, man, definitely go check that out. But I said, man, shout out to Digga D, man. He didn't come to play games with his new album release and stuff, and he definitely showing that the stereotypes don't matter to him and shit like that. He ain't caring about what the supporters out in the UK of these artists like him pretty much got to say about US artists. And y'all pretty much know the stereotypes that's going on and all that stuff about why UK drill artists don't really want to work with US drill artists or try to really collab for real and make great music together and stuff like that, just because the supporters of both sides here in the US and the UK, they talk they shit pretty much about each other, and just pretty much about the stereotypes of the sound that the artists and stuff, and how they do they rapping and all that, and then who's better and who's not as good and stuff like that. But like I said, shout out to Digga D, man, because he ain't caring about the stereotypes for real, and he going to make his money and pretty much showing that he can come over here and do music and still put out great music and shit for his supporters to listen to and stuff like that. So I'm glad he ain't playing into the stereotypes and letting that dictate how he want his career to go and stuff, and who he do business with, shit like that. Other than that though, man, shout out to Central C as well, man. He definitely do got a good ass album based off the numbers and shit that's going around being posted and stuff by outlets and stuff. So he definitely doing his thing as well in the UK scene, both of these guys. So they definitely doing what they got to do to be the top artists on their side of the country and stuff. So other than that though, let's go ahead and continue on.
these two have a long history and not a good one. What's up guys, it's your boy Kid Nerd back with another video. Be sure to like and subscribe and comment below what you think. Let's get into it. So today, we're taking this story to West London, which is probably the weirdest part of London for so many reasons. So on one side here, we have Digga D, who's from Ladbroke Grove, which is located in the borough of Kensington and Chelsea, one of the richest and poshest boroughs in the whole of the UK. But the borough also has the second highest crime rate in London. Famous Ladbroke Grove rapper AJ Tracy explains how it is living in the area in one of his interviews.
Is an area where we're living in estates and flats in which that sometimes we don't even have enough to pay the electricity bill, and right across the road there's a family where the youngest daughter, who's 9 years old, has a Rolex on.
Central C was also born in Ladbroke Grove, but is a couple years older than Digga.
Yeah, that definitely is weird. I ain't really never seen something like that out here in the US. You got a hood pretty much located by a good ass neighborhood right across the street type shit. Like, that definitely just don't seem right for real. Like, you just asking for somebody to get they shit stole or whatever the case is, man. Whether they worked hard for it for real, the legal way or not, etc., etc. You just, if you flexing, hey, you definitely got some people across the street, right across the street at that, willing to come and rob you for what you got and make a come up for themselves, pretty much, take from you. So yeah, that's just weird. I wouldn't have had done that. Whoever decided to think that that was a good idea, yeah, nah.
But Central C moved around 5 minutes away from Grove to an area called Shepherd's Bush, another quite notoriously dangerous area in West London, and you will soon learn why this location switch for Central C was important in his feud with the rapper Digga D. Now, Digga D and Central C actually went to school with each other. They both attended Chelsea Academy School in West London, but Digga D got kicked out of school in the start of year 8, so the pair didn't really have many run-ins with each other at school. And Central C was quite quiet and low-key in school, so he probably wasn't easily noticed. But from school, both rappers took completely different paths. Central C from around 2015 started trying to launch his music career with a song on the music platform called Street Heat, and he even managed to get onto a remix with big East London rapper J Hus in early 2015. Around the same time, he had to support his family, and with his music career not launching yet, he had to get it in another way. He previously had a job at a shoe store but left less than a month in, and just like many other kids in London, he started the cycle of going to OT to make some fast money. On the other side, in 2015, Digga D started getting his face more beta on the roads. Back in 2015, Shepherd's Bush and Ladbroke Grove actually used to be part of one gang called 916, alongside some other areas in West London, and you could even see a young Digga in a 916 music video from the rapper John 5 in his song Ain't Scared. But in 2016, internal disputes inside the 916 gang split the whole group apart, creating several different break-off batches in West London. The 916 members from Ladbroke Grove broke off and continued to use the name 916, but eventually started repping the name 1011, which represented the two postcodes across Ladbroke Grove, which are W10 and W11. And 916 members from Shepherd's Bush divided into two different sets called 12 World and 12 Anti. The same year, Digga D dropped his first music video called Hella Bands, where you can see other 1011 members, and that was the start of what we know Digga D to be now. Throughout 2016 and 17, putting on other 1011 members onto his tracks, and 1011 started to blow up faster than anyone in the scene at the time. You may be asking why they blew up so fast. 1011 were really the first UK drill group to have no filter at all, literally just saying the hottest stuff on beats, describing specific events quite graphically, which is something drill rappers didn't really do to the extent at that time. But one of the main reasons for 1011's blow up was the constant mocking of a murder which took place in 2017, an opposition member called T-Wiz. So it was April 2017, early in the afternoon, and T-Wiz had just stepped out of his house in Norfolk, West London, which is an op block to the 1011 gang. T-Wiz was then approached by two guys from an opposing gang called Rayners Lane, who are linked with 1011, and once they spotted T-Wiz, they stabbed him in the stomach and ran from the scene. T-Wiz then tried to run to...
Yeah, that was a crazy situation about how that whole thing happened and stuff. I already did plenty of videos on that whole thing. Y'all could just go check out my UK playlist, pretty much. I got a whole playlist of all the videos I pretty much did with UK and stuff like that. So with that being said, though, that was definitely a crazy situation and how that all played out. But let's continue on.
to a nearby alleyway around 100 yards from his house, but collapsed and died. Digga D and 1011 would mock T-Wiz's death in pretty much every song, so 2 men were put on trial for the murder, one being a guy who went by the name T-Rose, but both guys actually ended up beating the murder charge due to claims of self-defense. After beating the case, T-Rose then went on and made a drill song, not only mocking T-Wiz's death, but he went and reenacted the murder in the music video. But stuff started getting hot for T-Rose, so he went and moved around 3 hours away to the north of England in a town called Telford. That didn't stop anyone, because T-Rose was shot 5 times and killed in broad daylight, even after moving to the other side of the country. But let's
Auto-Tune Slice, the world's most advanced vocal sampler. I'm intrigued. Well, let's see what you got.
Let's take it back to 2017. The beef between Digga D's 1011 and Central C's Shepherd's Bush was getting serious. During this, Digga D really started making a name for himself, with his tune called No Hook and his Next Up track starting to rack up some big views. And even though all of his songs would be featured by other 1011 members, it was clear Digga was the star of the group, and he even started to attract a lot of international attention to the UK drill scene. But with the constant release of diss tracks, the beef was only becoming hotter, which eventually caught up to Digga and 1011 members. While all of this was going on, Digga's gang, 1011, had been getting investigated and tracked on every movement they made. On the 9th of November 2019, Digga and 4 other members were riding out when their car got stopped near Portobello Road in Ladbroke Grove. Digga tried to make a run for it with his face covered, but he didn't get far and was taken down and arrested by the police, where he was found with a large machete down his trouser leg. 1 more machete, a knife, and 2 baseball bats were also recovered in the car or on the members. All 5 members were sentenced to conspiracy to commit violent disorder, with the older members receiving prison sentences. But Digga D at the time was only 17, so got a lighter sentence of a year in the detention unit. Originally, the members stated that the weapons were for props for a music video, but after the piled up evidence, they all pleaded guilty to their charges. And this could have very much been the beginning of the end for Digga D. They even played his music at court, where they showed he referenced real life unsolved crimes in his area, which caused the police to get YouTube to take down most of Digga D's songs, including his Next Up, which was one of the most viewed UK drill songs at the time, with 11 million views, even putting Digga D on Channel 4 News to make an example of him to others. Digga was also slapped with a criminal behaviour order, which prevented him from writing lyrics on his rivals and mentioning dead people like T-Wiz. This was quite a turning point for UK drill, because after this we started seeing more and more drill songs getting taken down, which started to cause drill artists to water down and censor their lyrics to stop this from happening. Then on October 8th, 2018, Digga was fresh home.
Boy, for nasty. What, you get me?
But it just seemed like he still couldn't keep himself out of trouble. Now this is where Central C now gets involved in this story. Now at this time in 2018, Central C was starting to build a steady name for himself. He was already blowing up on Instagram with his unique type of drip and his pretty boy looks. But his music wasn't quite blowing up yet, with a more wavy type of sound, which was kind of what everyone else was sounding like at the time. But what happened on the 30th of November 2018 might have been a big reason due to his quite drastic career and sound change. So Central C alongside his brother and some other guys were posted up near a Sainsbury's store on Davisville Road in Shepherd's Bush when they were approached by 2 males. They started getting into some sort of verbal altercation. One of the males pulled out a knife and stabbed Central C's brother just under his left shoulder and then cut from the scene. Central C and his brother then went inside the Sainsbury's store where the police came and they started to treat the wound. 2 men were arrested for this, one of the men being Digga D. Digga D and his friend were eventually released due to lack of evidence, and Central C went kind of MIA for it.
So now I see why they got static. Yeah, that's tough. I ain't even know nothing about that, and that's crazy, but hey man, it's better late than never to get new information like this to be more informed about pretty much on what was going on over there and what happened and stuff with the pretty much with this street life and gang violence and shit. So other than that though, let's go ahead and continue on.
for a little while, but Digga just couldn't stay out of trouble. On January the 2nd, 2019, at around 7 PM, police was called to Harrow Road in West London due to a large fight between around 20 people. Harrow Road is the area of another West London popular rapper called Fredo, and also happens to be another area Digga has conflict with. After this fight, it was reported that 2 men were stabbed from the altercation. Digga, along with 2 other 1011 members, Savo and ZK, were arrested alongside some other members of the HRB gang, who was on the other side of the conflict. Digga was arrested and sent back to prison for 2 years and 6 months. Luckily, before Digga went inside, he had already finished up his debut album, Double Tap Diaries, and recorded some music videos to some of the tracks. This album is kind of what blew him up to the next level, because before this, he didn't have that many solo songs. He released a music video to his hit song, No Diet, on April the 18th while locked up. The song done big numbers and is currently on 26 million views, setting him up for a lot of hype for when he comes out. Digga ran into some issues though while inside prison. He was stabbed in one of his eyes, making him partially blind. Then on the 22nd of May 2020, Digga D is fresh home once again.
Oh my god, this is beautiful. It's beautiful. I'm emotional, guys. I'm emotional.
And comes out with one of his biggest songs yet, a song called Where. This wasn't too far after Central C dropped his first big song as well, called Day in the Life, which put Central in the limelight. And Central C went from strength to strength in 2020, getting numbers in everything and anything he dropped. But he really took off after dropping his hit song Loading, which is now on 80 million views. Even Digga D was seen listening to him in one of his Insta lives. And it seemed like Digga didn't really have that many personal issues with Central C at the time, but Digga did have problems with a lot of the people in Central C's music videos and people around him. Central C has many members of the 12 anti-gang around him, which obviously has conflicts with Digga D's side. Not only this, but Central C featured on a song with the West London rapper Fredo, who is from an area which historically has always had problems with Digga's area. Ever since then, Digga's been moving kinda wild, talking about the situation with his brother back in 2018 in a couple of unreleased songs. But it seemed like Central C wasn't trying to reply to any of Digga D's disses and not give the situation any type of limelight, until recently when he dropped his new mixtape called 2-3. On one of his songs called End of the Beginning, he sends for Digga D's ex-girlfriend called Tennessee, when he says, I wanna hit Tennessee and I don't mean Nashville. Digga responded to this on his Insta, pretty much saying why is he sending shots to his ex and not him. But when we look back at Central's life, it makes sense why he hasn't really replied to Digga, literally just from the fact he's not really involved in all of this beef the two areas have. Obviously it seems like the two have had their own little bit of history, but I think Central C is just at a point of his career where he just wants to go clear and live in peace. Like, this guy could easily clear 10 million views a video at this point and is building a fan base all over the world. He's literally a walking, living potential Hall of Famer in this rap game. He doesn't need to be involved in all that street stuff. With Digga, it's all a bit different. Digga has kind of thrived off his controversy and bad boy image, and that works for him. That's his audience. When we look at Central C's career, he's getting them big views from his songs like Commitment Issues and Obsessed With You, songs for and about girls. So this whole gangsterish type of route he's dabbling with now, in my personal opinion, I think he needs to scrap it. And he could potentially turn into the first international pop star to come from UK drill. Anyway guys, let me know what you all think about this situation. And of course, like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. It's been your boy Kid Nerd, and peace out.
Alright, I will say that now that the video is over. Basically, to touch on what Kid Nerd said towards the end, it looked like Digga D is pretty much trying to capitalize first on that, coming to the, pretty much be more international first and stuff, be known like more internationally and stuff, and pretty much he, like I said, pretty much putting away the stereotypes. He's not letting it dictate how he move and do business and stuff, and coming to the US. And like I said, despite the stereotypes from both sides, he pretty much coming over here making great music with US artists and stuff. He pretty much trying to get to that next level as well, but it seems like he's doing it more where he's more directly involved with trying to be international by collabing with artists from another country and shit like that. So other than that, I'm not saying that that means he gonna be bigger than Central C or become more known internationally than Central C, because at the end of the day, I think both of these guys are known internationally pretty much. Like, look at me for an example. Like, I know about these guys. I rock with their music. So it's like, pretty much they're both just looking at this point. It look like Digga D is just pretty much trying to be that person to get more hands-on with trying to be international. He's not just making music in his country and then blowing up just off of his music and stuff by staying in his country and only working with people around him in his country and stuff. He's actually trying to go work with other artists outside his country and stuff, and pretty much get his support that way by collabing with other artists and letting their supporters pretty much hear him and become supporters of his and stuff. So other than that though, man, I think both of these guys are both going in the right direction when it comes to their music careers and stuff, and they both pretty much reaching out. They pretty much not reaching, but are at that level where they can say they are two of the top artists of their country and shit, and doing things that other artists ain't at that type of level yet. So it is what it is though, man. I ain't got no sides in this whole situation and stuff. Like I said, I reacted to the video just because, one, I didn't know they had static and all of that, and two, it gives me more insight on, like I said, what's going on over there in the UK in the streets and shit behind the music and stuff. So other than that though, man, that's pretty much the end of this video, man. If you guys enjoyed my reaction to the video or the video itself in general, make sure you leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Don't forget to tell your family and friends about the channel as well. Hopefully they become supporters of the channel. And also don't forget to turn on post notifications so you guys get notified when I drop new videos, and be sure you don't miss out on new videos. Check out the channel every day, no matter the time of the day, just because you don't want to miss out. You never know when I'm gonna upload, and because the post notifications sometimes do not work at all, so you don't want to rely on them too much. And also don't forget to add and follow me on social media. All my social media platforms are listed down below in the description box, as well as in the intro of the video, so you shouldn't have a hard time at all finding me on social media. That said, that's the end of the vid. I'm gonna catch you guys later on with more, so stay tuned. Peace.